that was my wife's uncle's wife. And she did that for, I don't know when she gave it up, but she did that for a while. And then William Yule over here on the farm over here, before he got it, Dr. Tolliver. And he used to go around in a Model T to the houses. That's when they born my brother and sister. He did.
And so when did you and your family move to Little Petersburg? How old were you then?
Oh, I was about 7, 8 years old.
Right. Now, were you living with your parents, or were your parents and you living with your grandparents?
I was living with my grandparents first.
Yes, sir.
Then we moved to Petersburg.
And that's your grandparents stayed where they were?
Yeah, they bought a place there.
Yeah. Did you still get to go visit your grandparents?
Oh, yes, sir. Every Sunday.
And
we had dinner.
Go ahead.
Every Sunday we had dinner at my grandparents.
You had dinner?
In Madison.
Yes, sir. What smells are coming to your mind right now? What's your taste bud reminding you of? What are those dishes you really like that your grandmother made?
Cube steak, fried chicken, and lamb.
Right. What are some of your earliest memories with your grandfather? I know your grandmother was the cook and you could smell her food even in your mind's eye now. What do you remember about your grandfather during your
Oh, he was a farmer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a farmer, and then he, what do you call it, work on.
Yes.
He used to do that.
What are some of the first jobs?
And he raised some tobacco.
Yes. So as a little boy, you're still learning, but what were some of your responsibilities on the farm with him?
Tending corn.
Say it again.
Tending corn for my grandfather.
Yes, yeah.
Backbreaker.
Now,
you said your grandfather was a blacksmith?
Yeah, he had a little place where he could do his own, just about his own, and his brother,
He had a forge and he'd work iron?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he wasn't even business doing
No, but we understand. He supplied his needs on his territory. Yes.
Yeah.
So your grandfather, as far as the farming, did he sell any of his produce, or did he trade any of his produce for other services?
Now, on the corn he made, had a little mill. He turned, cracked the corn up with chicken and ground it for meal. He had meals. He had
right.
one team of meals. So they did all of the work on the farm. I mean, plowing.
Right.
And they worked the corn.
So now you've moved with your brothers and sisters. How many brothers and sisters do you have, or did you have?
I had 2 sisters and 4 brothers.
Wow.
There were 4 of us here.
So when your family moves here, because your family, you said, bought a home, do you remember, I would imagine you probably shared a bedroom with some of your brothers, or am I wrong?
Oh yeah, we had sometimes 2 sleep at the head and 1 sleep at the bottom.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
That was standard. So for heat in your room, what sort of heating system? It could be blankets, it could be a wood stove.
Blanket. My mother used to make her own quilt. And she's at the mill down here. She used to get the old sacks.
Yes.
And then they were colored.
Right.
And some of them were white. And she used to take them, and then she took old scrap clothes and made quilts and things like that.
Wow, she was very innovative. My goodness.
And my grandmother did the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're in the new home now. You're sharing the bedrooms like most people are with their brothers. What were your jobs there as a child? We're going to move on to your older
Well,
siblings.
we all had a job.
Yes,
My
what was
older
yours?
boys, and my sisters, they had to do the washing and mop the floor and things, and we was working outside.
Sure. And what
Yeah,
were you
we had
doing?
doing the wood, getting the wood in, feeding the chicken, milking the cow.
So what time did your day start in the morning?
Oh, around 6 o'clock,
Right.
7 o'clock, 'cause we had to get ready, they had to do that before we go to school. you
Right, I
know.
understand. Yeah. So what was bedtime, given all this hard work you did? I would imagine you weren't staying up.
Well, I think it was 8 o'clock.
I would imagine.
Yeah, and that was all night.
Right, right,
And
Did you-
sometimes we had to have a counter.
right.
Did you have electricity in the house?
No, sir.
So how'd you see at night with the oil lamp?
A lamp and a counter.
But the very first car your family had was,
That was a Model T.
and do you know about when that was?
That was in the 30s. I mean, I was old enough to know it was a car because most time it were horses, you know.
Right, you remember riding a horse into Orange?
No.
Now, talk to me about your water source. Did you, by chance, sort of spring?
Oh, we had to go. We had to get it from a spring.
Ah, I thought so.
Yeah, we had to get it from a spring. But then when we moved down here, it's a place still up here.
You mean up the hill, a little bit?
No, it's down past the bottom, what the cattle guard, and like going over to Round Hill Farm.
Oh, I see.
And it's still there.
Oh, the spring.
And then later on, my father put a pipe in up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took the horse and made a furrow all the way down to the house, a little ways.
Right.
Then they put a pipe in there.
Right.
And then they put a spigot on the end. And then when that pipe filled up with water,
Right.
if it run out, we don't have no water. We have to wait till it fills back up.
The spring, the water level rose again. He brought plumbing into place. How about that? That's great.
And my father, see, he used to, well, didn't many people know it, but he used to make all the flour meal and stuff.
You just make it at the mill where?
Right down here, Madison Mill.
Can you tell me more about this church?
Well, the only thing I know that I had to walk from the bottom of the hill down there, up here, and I've been Sunday school here. And every Sunday, when they ring their bell out here, I had to be in here. My parents want me to be in the church here.
They have to talk about the choir story. I remember you talking to me about the choir story, sir.
Yeah, I used to sing in the choir until one time they had me singing by myself, and I made a mistake and everybody laughed. I haven't sung before, haven't sung since.
Well, when you first started living here, how many families were living here in Little Petersburg?
Oh, man, a lot of people in this area. Kids, yeah, roads used to be full of kids coming to Sunday school.
Can you tell them where people were baptized, which is?
Oh,
part
yeah,
of
we were baptized right in the Rapidan River, right back at the mill.
Right.
And I tell you, we used to call it a chicken hole. Yeah, that's why we were baptized in that hole.
Right.
We used to call it a chicken hole.
What, because you were scared to go in it?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to be scared to go in it, you know.
Deep hole, yeah.
So you start school, how old are you when you first start formal school, formal
The
education?
6th grade,
And where would that have been?
Madison.
Madison. And how old were you when you started going to school here on Little Petersburg?
I think I was about 7 or 8 years old, I think.
Right. And where was school held in the beginning?
Right there in Petersburg.
In Petersburg. But was it connected with the structure they call little fisherman's lodge?
Fisher Lodge.
So it did serve as a school.
Yeah.
And so can you talk to us about what was one of your favorite things you discovered about yourself? It was a natural interest you liked.
Well, drawing now. I used to love to draw now. I think it was a horse and a pig or something that I first drawed,
Right.
when I had to draw.
Can you also share with folks who are not familiar with how education started, was everyone like in the first grade, or did you have people of different ages in the same room?
Yeah, I think from the first grade to the sixth grade. I say we had about 20, 28 or 30
Wow.
in that school up there.
And that would be with one adult instructor or more?
One teacher.
Right, right. Just so we know, was there a problem with behavior on the part of children, or was that sort of an understanding between the teacher and families that there would be order? I'm just wondering how.
Well, we were behave,
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, we was good.
Right.
I mean, sometimes we may act up, somebody may act up.
Right.
Yeah. But we were scared to act up.
That's what I was thinking.
Because if we get it at school and then get it at home, we get home.
Hey! That's what you think our techniques today, all right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get it too.
Okay, that's great, thank you.
So you went to, the first formal school you went to, you said was up in Madison?
Madison.
How did you get there every day?
Well, my father took me up, and my mother took me up there.
Or you didn't have a school bus?
No school bus. No, everybody had to walk. Everybody walked that way.
But Madison is a long way away.
Yeah, but I live with my grandfather. They live on Main Street. So we had to walk all the way downtown to the school. And in our church, there was a school down there.
But you didn't go to school here in Orange at all?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember
We up here, Fisher Lodge,
Right.
we went to 6th grade.
Right.
When they come to 7th grade, we went to Orange.
Right, it was that old wooden school.
Yeah, right.
And there was only 2 rooms in it.
But see, we had to walk from our community right up into the store right here. What we call Tucker Tea Room.
Right.
And we didn't have no bus. We had to ride in a cab. Ride in the cab from here, it was to the railroad station. Then from the railroad station, we had to walk all the way up to the school. Tucker Tea Room, that was a going place during Saturday night. And it had old Model T's and airplanes for power for the air conditioning and air coming.
Now, would you all go down there, or was that pretty much all white people only?
Yeah, most of them were white, but it was a store too, see. That was open during the week. Yeah, Tucker Tea Room, I tell you, it'd be cars lined up all the way up here, this old road to 15.
Yeah.
And part of the way down the road down here where I go home at. Yep. And when they start that engine up with the propeller, airplane propeller, and that's what sucks the air through there to cool it off when all the people get in.
And did you play any sports yourself?
Oh yeah, baseball.
Baseball.
Yep.
And where did you play that around here?
Life at school. Life.
Oh, you went all the way out to Lightfoot.
Yeah, see, we had school down there.
Oh, yeah.
See, when we finished that was the high school where you leave from to one in town. Then we had a bus there to take us down to Life. I think the store's still there, and they used to have a big field there. The man used to let us play baseball in there. And then we had now football. Now we had no uniform, nothing. And we had to play in our clothes.
So you've moved on, you're moving into teens now. You're still in school. When does someone approach you for your first job where they pay you something?
Oh, my first job was well, beside my home, what I had to do.
Right.
But the man across the river, they had a farm over there, and he offered me a job. I was 13 years old.
All right.
And he offered me a job. After mail run, he came down and picked his mail up and asked me did I want to work. And I went up there and I, he showed me how to do everything. William Mule, on the farm right across the Bethel Baptist Church.
Right.
All that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he taught me how to everything, how to harness horses, hook them up, and put things together, and all that.
He pay you? How much did you make then?
Oh, well, I started off with 50 cents a day.
Mm-hmm. And that was that considered a good deal for a young boy?
Oh yeah, I could buy a Coke for $5. I mean for 5 cents.
Wow, you made 50, so wow. Yeah, you're going.
Yeah,
So-
about a Coke.
No, I understand.
5 cents.
Right.
Loaf of bread was cheap. Then we used to get the Mary Jane for
Right.
a penny.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like around 20 or something you get married? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was about between 18 and 19.
Oh, 18, 19, okay. And how did you meet your wife, if I may ask?
Oh my goodness, we went to school together, and she
Right.
lived right above me.
Right.
And she used to help me with my lessons. Never forget.
That was a very attractive offer. Yeah. Help you with your homework. Right?
Yeah.
So you guys, when you were married, where did you settle down? Where did you start your housekeeping?
Well, I lived with my father and mother for a while.
Sure.
About maybe not quite a year.
Right.
Then right up at where I live at now,
Mm-hmm.
the man offered me this place up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he offered me, he said you need the money, live in Washington,
Right.
$500.
Wow.
For a house?
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Well, I live right now, but I built
Right,
the
in the
house
area.
behind me, and I
Mhm.
built one in front of it.
right, right.
And you've been living on the same little piece of land, maybe a different house, correct? But say, ever since you were first married, correct?
Yeah. $500. But my father made me save some money.
Ah.
And my mother. They made me save money. When I worked, I had to save some.
You, like many people, had the decision to make. I'm sure you probably had some relatives. I think one I'm thinking of who went to D.C. during the week to Bethel at Blair House, across from the White House, and he
Yeah,
came back.
that's my father-in-law.
Yes, sir. And so he chose to come back on the weekends or in back and forth.
Yeah, and he had a little school up there above him.
What went into your decision to say, I'm going to stay here in Petersburg?
Well, I had a better job.
Okay.
I worked with Sutter's Beard.
Working with,
Sutter's Beard in Orange, yeah, right in Orange. He came from Washington
Mhm.
up here, and he built by Reynolds, right there where Reynolds is at.
right.
And he offered me a job, cleaning the doing, clean cars up and everything. And that's something my father taught me, how to wax cars, clean them up and everything.
Right.
And we used to do that on Sunday. Well, everybody else, all the other kids were riding bicycles and things, and we had to work that morning, waxing cars and clean them up for people. Yeah, they used to sell Barracks and GMC
right.
trucks. I think I would bring home $28 a week.
Okay. And what year was this? Approximately.
It's either 49 or 50, something like that.
Okay, that's not out of line with some southern income I could look
Yeah.
into. Yeah. So
Then
this-
after that, I got a raise.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. Now this is a question, I don't want to lead, I just want to ask you just what popped in your head. Do you think that one's color, one's race, impacted what one made? In other words, do you think if you and a white fellow went up for the same job, do you think that you would be paid the same or less, or you had no knowledge of this whatsoever?
Well, the mechanic was making more,
Sure.
and the farm manager was making more.
Right.
He was making,
Right.
yeah.
But you would think their skill, mechanic maybe had more sophisticated skills, or he was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he was earning more based on his true skill set.
Yeah.
Right. Did you ever get the job of selling a car?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. So what was the job after that? You're moving on.
Well, my job after that, I worked for Firestone.
Right.
I called for the post office.
Do you remember when you got your first car?
Yes.
When was that?
Well, that was in the 50s, and my wife was working for Shackelford, and I supposed to pick her up at night, and I drove home, and the car wouldn't start no more.
Oh.
I had to walk and meet my wife and walk back, and come find out. Bill Newman, I don't know if you knew him. He used to work for Southern Spirit. He was a manager there. And one of the mechanics pulled down one evening. His name was Claude Haney. And it had leather inserts in it.
And what?
Leather inserts
Oh.
in the crankcase.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they had them worked out. You know, that thing said cluck, 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 you know.
Didn't you do some taxi service to the airport? Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah. I used to take people back and forth to the airport.
In your.
My time off was on Monday. And
So was it a car?
sometimes.
Did you see you had a truck then? Was it a truck or a car?
No, I used our car.
I car, yeah.
Yeah, I used our car.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday I had to go to work till 11 o'clock, and you used to leave 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, go to the airport, you know, take them up. I'd be back in time to go to work. Then on Monday,
This is Charlottesville Airport or Washington?
no, Dallas and, well, Dallas just had been built.
Yeah.
I went to that, then National, then BWI. It was me, I couldn't make no drinks, yeah, I went to Charlottesville, went to a bookstore and got me a book and learned it myself. I learned it all myself.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to mix 18 drinks.
Wow.
Could you make them today?
Well, I may have to think now of some of them, but they were my favorite drinks, and a lot of them liked it, you know. And everybody had to bring in the bottle, and they had a place where they, what you call a locker, where
Sure.
they put that locker
For the bill.
and have our name on it.
Right.
And the only thing we could, the charging for, like you want bourbon water, we had put one mark down for bourbon water. If it was something else, you had to put 2 marks down. Everybody, you know,
Right.
you couldn't sell no drinks.
Right. They've had to bring their own alcohol.
Had to bring them.
And then they let you pour it and you would serve it.
You're right.
So
Mix the
you,
drinks. I mix the drinks for them.
I'll bet you memorize what everybody would like to drink.
Oh, when they come in, I know what they want.
Right.
You know, I'll be honest with you, sir, there's this legend about you that you were very concerned about people's safety, so that if somebody had a little too much to drink, you made sure they had a cab. Is that an apocryphal story? Do you remember that happening?
Well, you know, everybody responsible for somebody.
Sure.
Even the wife responsible for that husband. If you bring a guest in, you're responsible for your guest.
Right.
And never had no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Never had no problem.
Now, after the President Madison Inn closed, you continued to bartend for parties, for private parties.
Private parties.
With Walter Ware?
Yeah. See, I taught water.
Ah.
I taught Franklin Fry. I taught 2 or 3 women. Yeah. Yeah, I taught one woman, and she said, sure, I can make more money here than somewhere else in here. And she went to Philadelphia and showed me where she started off with $30,000 a year. That made me feel bad. I never forget her name. And, her father used to live in Orange. Her name was Knighton.
So you had some children. Bruce is here to proof of that. How many children did you have?
7. And all of them were good. Listen to me. I didn't spend too much time because I was working.
Yeah.
You know, and that hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
Hurt me a lot because I couldn't go. They played football, and I couldn't. So I had to work. I couldn't get nobody to work in my place.
So what advice would you give to people your age, middle-aged people, young people? What would you say contributes to people having a good, happy life?
Well, sports.
Sports.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that sports is a good thing for kids, young people, and all.
Right.
You can see that by looking at the television. Football game, baseball game, how many people at the game, soccer game, all that.